Hey, welcome back, everybody. So, I always tell people that I'm a American Muslim legend, right? I was actually kind of born like a prince in America.
Oh, wow. Okay. Zamunda, keep going.
Right. So, but it just so happens that my mother was a white Muslim queen and my father is a black Muslim king. Let me explain. My mother, even though she had the country's, yep, that's my picture right there. Yep, that's in front of the first mosque in the United States.
That's a mosque?
That's a mosque. Okay. And right behind it is the projects. That's where Corey Holcomb grew up at. And he grew up around the same time. I can't say I ran into him, but it's a possibility. Because he just lived a couple blocks down the street, and I used to walk up and down State Street all the time, trying to convert some of them people to Muslims.
Oh, do y'all do like the Jehovah wickedness?
Yeah. We definitely went and knocked on doors.
Out here knocking on doors and giving the Quran.
Yeah, and pamphlets and all kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I was wondering how you get recruited.
Nah, is it okay? So the niggas with the bow ties, they're Muslim.
Okay, the Nation of Islam is different than.
But it's Muslim.
It's a different Islam.
Do they read the Quran?
They read a Quran. I don't know which Quran they read.
Oh, do they? Oh, so it's like the King James version of the Bible. They're different versions of the Quran.
I'm not going to say that.
Well, you just said.
But what I will say is the person who brought. Or I'm sorry, the person who created this mosque also brought the first English commentary of the Quran to the United States in 1922.
This mosque that you were at?
Right.
Okay. So
when I was born in. Right.
Mosque.
Yep.
Different.
And, for you fact checkers, all you got to do is go to the History Channel and look up the oldest mosque in America.
And they're going to find your
Chicago.
picture.
Well, they're going to see the mosque that we just put up there.
In Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And would you say? I mean, I guess I'll probably ask Google. But what would you say? The average city. How many mosques would they have? A major city would have as many mosques as say churches. I mean, clearly not as many.
No, not as many as
not like in the South.
No.
There's a church on every corner.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know how many mosques are in America.
About to find out.
Yeah.
You keep talking. I got you.
Stick together though, right? Basically, everybody. It ain't like you can go make your own. Everybody got to go to.
You know what's so funny?
It's no different than Methodist, Baptist, and Lutheran, and there's
different versions of the way you love Christ.
Right, and there's different way to follow Islam.
Right. It's so funny when you bring that up. I feel like there wasn't a thorough education. I didn't really know about the Muslim culture in depth. Like I knew there were Muslims, but I didn't know about the Muslim culture in depth until I saw Malcolm X.
And that's not even all the culture.
Well, clearly that's not all the culture.
Right.
But when you see that he's just like you were talking about, when you see that he's part of the Nation of Islam, and then he does his pilgrimage,
right?
And he sees so much more of the Muslim world than the Nation of Islam ever showed him, and I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
How it changed him.
Well, when I went overseas, it was different for me growing up in America as a Muslim than going over to Jordan or to Palestine.
So you were different to them?
Oh, yeah. And then, by the way, there's 2,700 mosques in the United States.
That's it?
That's it, 2,700.
That means there's 270,000 churches. Because I feel like there's 100.
Right.
And how many? And then take 51 times divided by that.
Yeah.
They
right. It's not a large number.
That's not. It's like 2 a state.
Right.
And this is funny because there was a mosque that some Muslims tried to purchase up in Wisconsin, and what they didn't know is it wasn't permitted for a mosque. I don't know really, or it wasn't. You just can't move into any dwelling
Absolutely. So I get that.
So I guess they didn't know.
Just like the Catholics need certain areas need to be blessed and whatnot. Is that what you're talking about?
I guess. But they actually lost their mosque because they didn't plan properly. So they bought a property thinking they could turn into a mosque, and the city was like, "No, this isn't permitted for that. So you cannot pray here,
right?
Like it's a mosque."
Right.
Now, I don't know how something like that works. I just feel like freedom of religion in this country. If I want to turn my little 2-bedroom apartment into a church, I can put up some folding chairs in that motherfucker and get down.
But not a mosque.
Well,
but not a mosque.
And the mosque I was born in, it was a brownstone.
Yeah, I just looked at it. I was like, it looked like
it was a brownstone. You know,
so I'm like,
and
that's a house.
You know, I always,
in my mind.
You know,
Dang.
That mosque is no longer there. They built another one next to it.
All right.
They tore it down?
Yeah, they tore it down. I wish they would.
That was 80 years ago. You know how old Bullhead is?
Yeah, I'm pretty old.
I don't know how old he is. Every week I think he's a different age.
But you know, like I said, not only was I born there, I was born on the kitchen table.
Okay.
At home.
At home by a midwife.
Oh.
So when everyone else was born at Cook County Hospital, I was born in Cook County at the mosque.
Okay.
All right. He was cooking. Somebody was cooking right next to you.
Hey, look, I was in the kitchen.
There was a saute pan right next to your head.
Well, actually, it was 4:32 in the morning, and that's right before the first prayer, which is Fajr prayer.
Wow.
And then the first thing I ever heard through my ears was the calling of the prayer, which is called the azan.
Okay.
So, you know, I tell people when I got on my first plane, I was in my uniform too.
On your first plane, you didn't get on a plane until you joined the military.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
wow.
was my first time. I went from O'Hare Airport to Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, Jacksonville, North Carolina. And I started praying, and everybody looked at me because I was like, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. They like, whoa, you can't say that on the plane.
You started praying. You started praying on the plane.
Yeah, you're supposed to pray wherever you know, whenever the time is.
Did you lay the rug down in the middle of the aisle too? Did you go on and just?
You can just sit in your seat.
Okay, I just felt like there was a rug.
No, I mean, you know, my brother, may he rest in peace, he would just go out to his car and say his prayers when he was a barber.
Pause. Did you, on the plane, pray out loud?
Yeah.
On the plane?
Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's not what you're supposed to
Okay,
do.
I found that out the hard way.
What did they do?
They started jumping up and saying, "Hey, grab them," and I'm like, "Hey, I'm cool."
That didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Look, it was a bunch of sailors on. Look, it was a bunch of sailors on this flight because we all actually look. My entire hospital corpsman class, which is what the Army calls medics, we all got sent to field med school down at Camp Lejeune, and we had to go to this camp called Camp Johnson, which is named after the first black NCO in the Marine Corps, which is a very high honor to have trained on the camp that was named after him.
But no. Tim, I could see Bullhead.
He says it all the time.
And
Allahu Akbar.
forcefully, because his name Bullhead, so you know he doing it even though he see the people saying, shh. He probably getting loud.
Yes. Oh man, with all the
boy, I could see you doing that and saying, "No, I'm going to pray right now."
I mean, not only was I praying for me, but I was praying
for everybody.
It was my first time on the plane. I was afraid.
You was nervous.
Oh, there you go. That makes there it goes. That makes more sense.
I'm looking out the window like, man,
niggas just out here yelling out is one thing, but yeah.
No, he said it was his first time.
No, it was my first time on the plane.
That story is hilarious.
I've had somebody on a plane that was afraid of flying through turbulence grab my wrist immediately and start the Lord's Prayer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one.
Look, you know what? When somebody's scared on the plane, it's a few things people are going to say. One of them is going to be, "Oh shit,
oh God,
Lord have mercy,"
and
Allahu Akbar.
No one's saying that.
Well, they definitely not saying it now. Like what?
Oh, whoa, that's a thing. I can see that.
I can see that.
I'm like, oh my God, Tracy, help me. Just
Like, please let me hold on for a second there.
You know, a young lady that the guy, grabbed her hand, touched her knee, and then by the time it was all over with, he put her hand on his dick.
Oh,
Because
shit.
he was holding her hand. He was like, "Oh, just save us."
The whole time I was like, well, what did you do? Right? Because you go along with all this.
She was just holding on.
People will do when you say you are scared.
Y'all is
People will do
stupid.
anything to comfort you in that moment.
Yeah, and you never know what's gonna happen until it happens.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, you've told me so many stories about being Muslim. I feel that there's a point, like just as a black person, you kind of have to watch what you do as a black person because people have these preconceived notions about who you are. Like you said that you were accosted by TSA because of your name.
I was. And I was
Yeah.
in my uniform.
Absolutely. I would
And
listen.
that's almost like a racism.
That's absolutely what it is.
Oh, okay, yeah,
But-
that's a racism.
Right.
But-
So I need my reparation check.
You showed them
Well,
need reparations.
can we get ours first before you just
Hey, look, I'm
start getting
only
checks?
gonna get half
We
of
need to get
mine.
it by color tone, so I know I ain't finna be last.
Hey,
Wait a
look,
minute.
y'all gotta understand something.
Your mama white, you get half a check.
No, my mama ain't getting them from the white side. I'm gonna get some from. Look, my father was born and raised in Mississippi, and actually
God.
was a part of a.
He had some Cherokee in his family.
They
he was on the slave,
they were
ranch.
sharecroppers.
Yeah.
Oh, sharecroppers.
On
Yeah,
the
them
slave
not-
ranch.
yeah.
My father picked
Mississippi.
cotton.
He said Mississippi.
Mississippi. I'm
Keep
a-
up with your geographics now.
So I need my half of reparations
You
check.
get half of a
Half?
a
You get,
check.
yeah, you
But
get.
this
you
whole
get-
terrorist watch list thing they did, that's the other half. I ain't gonna get nothing for Dixie Lynn Roberts.
No,
Israel
Dixieland.
get
Roberts.
my money.
Honestly,
They don't get my-
you say Dixieland Roberts during that reparations check here, and they probably
Nah, they be
gonna
like,
charge
nah.
you.
Right.
Don't tell him. Don't say it. Don't say it. Fool.
But my mother
Oh,
loved black
God.
people so much. Yeah, I need the whole reparation check.
Because your mama like.
Yeah, I mean, she had. Look, let me tell you something about my
Let
mama,
me
man.
tell you what.
My mama used to tell people.
If I got a check for every dick my mom sucked,
I don't know about all that,
Give
but
me my reparations.
hey, look, we would be on the bus and people would be asking my mama, "Are those your children?" She said, "Of course, these are my beautiful black babies."
yeah, my son,
That would be really weird though, because they looking at y'all like y'all ain't black.
No. My son's mixed, and one of the things that his mother hates to this day, because now he's got dreads. So now she walks in and she's just a tiny little white woman. Everybody thinks she's the nanny.
I know it's an issue.
What?
I know it's an issue.
And of course, that's your child. There's
For
no
the
way.
mom, though.
For the mom, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I carried this child. I shouldn't have to prove that this is my child because we don't share the same
Tone?
skin tone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right,
I mean,
right.
well, that's just the ignorance of some people these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to do a segment next week. We're going to talk about light skinned niggas, and guess what? We'll be right
Drake.
back.
Right back. Light skin.
Fuck you, Aunt. Are we off? Sorry. Are we off?
Be light-skinned niggas.
Yeah.
And you gonna like this one too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
I'm
some
happy.
shit to
I'm
say
happy
about a light skinned nigga.